Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to make a crazy crust pizza, a pourable pizza. There's a bunch of different varieties on the internet, on Pinterest, all over the place. And this I found in a really old cookbook that I have, and I thought it'd be fun to make it in the Dash mini 8-inch skillet. I do already have a video going in depth on this and doing the overview of it, and I'll link that up here so you can go back and watch that if you want. If you don't know much about this, and so you can go back and watch that video. I'm gonna whip it up in my Tupperware mix and whip chef. That's a tongue twister. It whips up really nice. I do have a video on this also, and I'll also link that up here if you want to know more about this. So let's get started with the video. I am not going to preheat this. I'm going to put it in cold and do it as a cold start. So it calls for 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of ground oregano. I'm using Italian seasoning, but I have them both in here. And then an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. And I don't think I'm gonna put quite an 1/8 teaspoon in. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on the top. You can always add more when it's finished if you like a more peppery flavoring. And then I'm just gonna put this on and just give it a little bit of a stir to mix it. To get everything incorporated. And now I have 2/3 cup of milk, and I'm gonna add 2 eggs into that and then mix those up. Okay, I'm gonna beat these eggs. Just a little bit to break them up. And then pour it in with the dry mixture. Okay, I'm going to put the top on and then give it a stir. Okay, and now I want to scrape my sides and my bottom, because I put the dry ingredients in first, and you should really put the wet ingredients in first, because that way your dry ingredients won't hang up on the bottom then. But it's a very loose, wet batter. Okay, and now I'm going to mix it up again. Now I have it on gear 1, and I'm going to switch it to gear 2, and you can see how much easier it is on gear 2. And I think that's it. It's really nice and incorporated. And one thing you can do is you can hold it up here and then twist it, and it'll knock off any excess batter. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I am just going to pour it in here cold. Well, I'll turn it on a while. And I think I'm going to do it on medium, the upper end of medium. Now, if you like a real thin crust, because this does make, I think, like a 9 by 13. I'm going to try it with all of the batter ones and see how it gets. But you could split it into 2, make 2 pizzas. But I like a thicker pizza crust, and this actually makes it really thin because you're spreading it. You're supposed to spread it out on a pan, but I never did it this way, so we'll see how it works out. Okay, so I have it in here. Let me bring you in closer so you can see better. Okay, there we go. I have it in here. You can see it takes up maybe 1/2 inch of the bottom, maybe a little bit more. It's already starting to cook. I can smell it, so I want to put the lid on. and you can see the steam already collecting on it. So I didn't put any oil. I wanted to spray some coconut. I wanted to spray some coconut oil in and I forgot, but this has a really good non-stick, but we will see. This is the test. So I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes and then I'm gonna check it. Okay, it's been like 5 minutes. So let's take a peek. It's still very liquidy in the middle. So we're gonna go another 5 minutes and then come back and check it out. Okay, it's been about 7 minutes. I got a little sidetracked. So let's check and see. I can see a lot of condensation. Let me get a napkin. I can see a lot of condensation building up in here. The lid's hot. It smells really good and it's finished. I put a toothpick in. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some sauce on. The recipe calls for a cup of pizza sauce. Since it's so small, I'm not gonna put a whole cup on. I'm just going to drizzle some around here. You put as much or as little on as you like. This would probably be even really good with like a white garlic sauce. And then I'm gonna sprinkle some cheese on. Okay, and now I'm gonna put the lid on. Just be careful, it's hot when you lift it. And leave that on for another 3 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see how the cheese is melted. And I will be right back. Okay, it's been close to 5 minutes. It's like four minutes or so. And it looks really good. The cheese is nice and melted. Now, I think I'm gonna leave it on just a little bit longer just to get the cheese bubbly. Okay, it's been another 3 minutes. So it's been about a total of 10 minutes from start to finish. And I think that's as good as it's gonna get. It's bubbly. I just don't want the crust to burn. I did want to mention that when I checked it the second time, I did reduce the heat a little bit to the lower end of medium, more like medium low. So, turn this off. And I'm just gonna use a rubber spatula here just to loosen it from the sides. Now remember, I didn't put any oil in this. I totally forgot to oil it. But it seems like if you can get your spatula under there, and I have this nice wide spatula from Tupperware, works perfectly with this. So, and as you can see, it's nice and brown on the bottom and my cheese is sliding off. Don't do that. Okay, so let me see if I can get my cheese to move back over here. Okay, it's a little sloppy, but I'm sure it's gonna taste great. So, I'm gonna let this cool down for about 3 to 4 minutes, just so it sets up just a little bit, and I will be back to cut it and plate it and taste it. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 3 minutes that I let this sit, and as you can see, move this out of your way. I'll zoom in on this. The crust didn't get nearly as thick as I thought it was going to with all that batter. But if you like a super thin crust, make that recipe, and I will put the recipe in the description below, and I'll also put it as the first comment so you can copy and paste it onto your notes or something like that and then print it from there. But if you want it super thin, then I suggest cutting the batter into 2 and making 2 pizzas. This is our Tupperware pizza cutter. It comes with a pastry cutter, which is really a really fun design if you're doing pot pie dough or pie dough. But let's give this a cut. you can see the thickness. It's more like a bread, I believe, kind of like a focaccia bread, I'd say. I'm gonna put it on a plate here, and I'm gonna give it a taste. It's really hot. It's really good. I think next time I will cut the batter in half because it's more like a, it kind of has an eggy consistency to it. So it's not like a normal pizza dough. But for a really quick and easy snack or supper, or while you're watching movies or having game night, this works perfectly. And I want to show you the inside here. Now I forgot to put oil in it, but nothing stuck to it at all. It's a really nice True Glide non-stick. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for joining my channel. Please like and subscribe, and I hope everyone's staying safe, healthy, and happy, and I'll see you next video. Bye.